Okay, let's dive right in. We're talking about maybe one of the most important guardrails for any serious leader, and that's building a real financial moat around your business. And listen, this isn't about just, saving money. It's about fundamentally changing the way you operate. So here's the crazy paradox so many leaders find themselves in. You're performing at a super high level, right? Your GCI, your gross commission income, it's high. But you're completely trapped. It's like a golden cage. Why? Because your constant, manual hustle is the only thing funding next month's payroll. You've basically just created a high-paying job for yourself, one that you can never, ever quit. And that makes your entire business dangerously fragile. And this really gets to the core of it all. You cannot lead with authority from a position of financial fear. Think about it. When you're secretly worried about making payroll, every single decision you make is compromised. You can't hold the line on your fees, you can't make smart, long-term plays, and you for sure can't lead with that quiet confidence your team needs from you. That fear, it bleeds into everything.
So let's actually give this pain a name. We call it the fragility tax. It's this invisible expense that you are paying every single day that you operate without a real cash buffer. Now, it's not going to show up on your P&L statement, but you feel it. Oh yeah, you feel it. In your burnout, in the bad deals you take just to get some cash on the door, and ultimately in the suppressed value of your entire business.
Now, check this out. What's really wild is how these consequences all stack up, kind of like dominoes. It all starts with you living in that deal-to-deal survival mode. That makes you the single point of failure. That's the first domino. If you get sick, if you need a break, boom, it falls, and it knocks over the next one. You can't hold a line on your fees. Then that one topples, which artificially crushes your firm's valuation, which means a terrible cap rate if you ever try to sell. And the last most painful domino? One slow quarter and you're forced into a talent fire sale, firing the amazing people you worked so hard to bring on.
So how in the world do you stop paying this awful tax? Simple. You build a margin of safety. And this is not a defensive move, okay? This is the ultimate offensive strategy. It's what allows you to build a truly resilient, institutional-grade platform.
This chart just illustrates the shift perfectly. I mean, look at the left side. That's the fragile hustle, right? Panic closing deals, leader burnout, reactive decisions. It's pure manual labor. But on the right, that's where we want to be. A resilient platform built on systemic execution. This is where you find what we call quiet confidence. This is where you start making strategic choices that build real, long-term value, not just surviving the next 30 days.
So, here it is, the rule. And let me be clear, this is non-negotiable. The firm must maintain 6 months of its fully loaded operating expenses, and that cash needs to sit in a dedicated business account, totally separate from your day-to-day cash flow. This number, this reserve, this is the bedrock of your financial moat.
All right, enough theory. Let's get into the action. It is time to make this concept real and calculate your exact cash runway. We're going to find a precise number, a target that you can start chipping away at today.
It's actually a pretty simple 3-step process. First, we figure out your monthly burn rate. Second, we establish that 6-month target. And third, we do a gap analysis to see exactly where you stand right now. No guesswork, no ambiguity, just a clear, cold, hard number.
Okay, step 1 is huge, and you've got to be brutally honest here. You need to know your true monthly cost. This is not just salaries, we're talking fully loaded costs. That's salary plus taxes, benefits, overhead for every single person, plus all your fixed costs like rent, software, marketing. You add all of that up and you get one number, your monthly burn. This is the objective reality of what it costs to open your doors each month.
And here's the magic number, the multiplier. You take that monthly burn rate and you multiply it by 6. Now, this isn't some number we just pulled out of a hat. It's the institutional standard for building a resilient business that can actually handle a market downturn or an unexpected dry spell. And the final step, this is the moment of truth. You take your 6-month target number and you put it right next to your actual current liquid cash reserves. The difference between those two numbers, that is your moat gap. It's the precise, quantifiable measure of your financial vulnerability. And a visual like this just makes it painfully clear, doesn't it? That empty space between your target and where you are now, that is your moat gap. And for a lot of people, seeing this number for the first time is a real gut punch, but it's also the essential first step to actually fixing it.
So now you have the number. You know the gap. But just knowing it? Well, that's not enough, is it? The crucial next move,
And this is what separates the pros from the amateurs, is creating a documented policy. A systematic plan to automatically funnel a piece of all future income to fill that gap until it's gone.
Okay, I'm going to shift my tone here for this last part. We're moving to what we call the captain's bridge. This is about absolute standards and accountability. Let's be real, a team that is one bad quarter away from layoffs is not an institutional platform. It is a high-risk group project that's being funded by your rising blood pressure.
So I want you to look at your cash reserves and answer this first question. Objectively, we call it the absence test. If you were completely taken out of the picture for the next 6 months, no deals, no calls, nothing, what would happen? Would your team's payroll clear every month? Or would the entire organization just collapse without your manual labor?
Next up, the autonomy check. Now think about your team. Are they operating with the quiet confidence they need to do their best work? Or are they living with this low-grade, constant anxiety that their jobs aren't secure? Because your failure to properly capitalize the firm, well, that becomes their burden to carry every single day.
And finally, the asset validation. What are you really building here? Let's get honest. Is it a resilient, valuable business asset that can command a premium and operate without you? Or is it just a fragile, cash-poor hustle that's just masquerading as a real firm?
The mandate is crystal clear. This isn't just some good advice. It is the fundamental duty of a leader who is truly serious about building something that's meant to last. Calculate the runway, fund the reserve, and protect the platform.